We're getting the 3 points against Sheffield United. I honestly didn't have confidence ahead of the game. I thought this was gonna end in the 1-1 nil boring draw, or that Sheffield will sneak away with a close 1-0 win, and we fans were continuous to scratch our heads. But the thing is, I'm still continuing to scratching my head, even though we got the 3 points. And of course I am happy about it, because we desperately needed that, and this will help the boys into the next games. But the thing is that why I'm scratching my head is for different reasons, and it's not to be negative, but I'm gonna be a little bit critical about Pochettino's setup today. And I can understand it to some extent, but I'm also a bit disappointed from some of the players' performances. So let's get into it. Pochettino's very confident ahead of the game. The type of lineup we put out there with 4 center backs tells you everything you need to know how he feels deep inside. He is not confident. It felt like we had an approach where we were more afraid to lose than to actually win. And we need to build on the mentality. We need to have players being attack minded, brave, not afraid out there. And I felt in the first half we were very cautious, very afraid, passing the ball very slow, in low tempo, and we're continuously going sideways, backwards, poor movement, barely any passes going through the middle, and barely any chances whatsoever created. In the first half we had 0.1 xg against a Sheffield sitting at the bottom. Just luckily enough, we managed to scrap by in the second half by some individual performances from Palmer and Raheem the Dream Sterling. I think it was right holding in the possession, obviously, because Sheffield is going to sit deep and be compact. They should have honestly done that throughout the whole game. They were coming a bit too much forward in the second half, and then open up spaces for us. And they should have just continued that, and they would have seen this game through 0-0. I like we're holding in possession, and I like having patience against these low blocks, because that will make them tired. They will lose patience, and when you're finding the right opportunity to strike and find that quick pass movement, we should do that. But we didn't do that. Barely anything throughout this game. We're just going sideways, backwards. Barely, we don't even have fullbacks that can barely overlap. That's what I wanted, at least one fullback to start like a Madsen, so Mudryk would have someone to help him by overlapping. That would help Mudryk create more chances and in spaces to create more chances for others, or take shots or drive in through the middle like a Hazard used to do. But he was constantly 1 versus 2 or 1 versus 1. Now Mudryk didn't have the best game. He is very raw. But I don't think Pochettino helped him either. So I can accept that we're going with this approach just for this time. Maybe against Newcastle, it depends. Maybe Gusto isn't ready, and the crazy thing, Pochettino doesn't prefer playing Madsen whatsoever. I really don't know why. But against Wolves next Sunday, we have to see at least one fullback out there, because these centre backs cannot overlap or provide anything. They can't support our wingers. That's why I'm wondering, like, is Pochettino gonna continue with this or not? Hopefully not. And he has to get the team to start passing quicker. There's nothing wrong with having patience, but this wasn't patience. This was like walking in the sleep. That's why I'm really scared against Newcastle Wolves, because against better opposition, they will run us all over today and would have won 3-0. It's just lucky that Sheffield was so toothless today. They just don't have the quality for the Premier League whatsoever. They will go down. Chris Wilder did a magic job against Brentford last week, but that's it. So yeah, I'm not really confident in Pochettino's tactics today or approach. We still got the 3 wins, which I should be happy about. But I think it also coming from an individual brilliance from Sterling and Palmer. Palmer is just my man of the match. The guy is just the brain in our team. Sterling has the movement in our team. And that's actually one great thing Pochettino did, where he switched places with Palmer and Sterling, because that allows Sterling to act as a more second striker behind Jackson. And Sterling is pretty good making runs. He's fast as well, can accelerate through players. And Palmer acted like a Ziyech, being out wide, cutting inside with his left foot, making passes, taking shots. And I like that. That allowed Sterling to then accelerate through the Sheffield United defender and make a low-driven cross that I wanted us to do. Match preview in this game, and then finding Palmer with some instinctive movement finish there. That put us up to the lead. And then later on, we finally going with one pass through the middle, felt like for the whole match, and that opened up a chance where we might have been a bit lucky, but we still managed to score a tap-in with Jackson 2-0. That's an assist for Palmer too. So Palmer is definitely my man and match. He's the brain in this team. We would have had an overlapping fullback. That would have made us have even more opportunities to put in low-driven crosses inside the box, because I think low-driven crosses and cutbacks is a good thing to use in any attack, but especially when you're out of confidence, because you can just then create movement, and then you will find space with an overlap, and then just putting in a low cross place attack in the box. Maybe it takes on a deflection and hopefully a defender makes a own goal, or it goes to a corner, or you're having a Palmer that you're finding them, who can then make a tap in. So that's an attacking approach I would like to see us against against Newcastle, and then against the Wolves next week. But this performance was very lethargic. I don't feel Pochettino is really helping the players out there. As I said, against Newcastle and Wolves, we have to be more brave. Even if it means that we're gonna let in a couple of goals, so be it. We have to also put up an attack, be a threat. And if we're gonna talk more about player performances, I thought Gallagher had a very poor first half, but in the second half he stepped up and belongs in our team. He was covering so much spaces with a lot of interceptions. I thought Caicedo in the second half stepped up with his passing game. Enzo was coming in looking better off from the bench. Mudryk was shocking today, but he is very raw, as I said. I don't really think we helped him either. Petrovic making his debut in goal, but he had a very quiet game. But that's the sort of type of game you want to start making your debut in, so you get a feel for the game. Now he got a clean sheet. That will help getting him confident. And then we're finishing off the game with 6 defenders. Instead of just giving Nkunku like 5-10 minutes minimum, so he can get a feel for the Premier League again. It would have been a perfect opportunity to get for him to get 10 minutes today against a shattered Sheffield. I don't know what the reason was why Pochettino didn't use him. All this teasing they did before the game. I mean, you're showing pictures on him, generally speaking about he's finally in the squad now. You're having Chelsea posting a picture on his shirt hanging in the dressing room. And Pochettino can't even play him 5 minutes against Sheffield when we 2-0. There's much more to analyze. So if you made it all the way this far, sure like this video, subscribe to my page, hit the notification bell so you never miss when I upload. And yeah, I guess I'm just gonna enjoy this win. Big Pepsi. And I see you guys.